Greetings. This will be a short journey discussion of what excellence in algebra looks like and what preparation for excellence in algebra looks like at the high school level for gifted students. So what does it mean to master the concepts in algebra or to excel in algebra? Well, it could mean many things, but for the students in algebra or in high school level algebra, the expectation is that they're going to have a GPA, math GPA, at least of a 3.5 or higher, something in the 90 to 100 range from a numerical GPA, and are absolutely expected to score in the milestones, Georgia milestones range of proficient or higher, or which is distinguished. And in order to do this, they would incorporate the 8 mathematical practices and then statistical reasoning and modeling, mathematical modeling, all of which are keys to the new standards that have been implemented over the last couple of years. The statistical, the items, the framework around which these things that students engage, engage in would be numerical reasoning, functional and graphical reasoning, patterning and algebraic reasoning, and geometric and spatial reasoning. These are the big ideas in algebra, that you use the 8 mathematical practices of persevering in problem solving and reasoning abstractly, quantitatively, constructing viable arguments and critiquing the reasoning of others, modeling with the mathematics, and using strategic statistical reasoning in order to express their understanding of the content. So you can see from this slide that there are numerous items that students engage in 8th grade that are similar to what they learn in algebra, or at least good prerequisite skills to have in order to be able to be prepared for algebra in terms of background essential skills. Now, those are the math content related skills, but in order to really excel, especially for gifted students, the growth mindset is key, and the growth mindset can be formulated by the idea of how mathematical modeling is incorporated at every level of the student's education. It's important not to only develop a deep understanding of the mathematics, as we talked about, but to give students the tools they need to make sense of the world around them with the mathematics. And so when students engage in mathematical modeling, they're not only prepared for a chosen career, but to also make daily life decisions. And it's important to be able to point that out when they're having these opportunities to learn, and to question and to re-engage in the content to make it pertinent to solving a real life problem or task. And realizing that modeling in real life is kind of open and it's messy, and it's okay at first if it looks messy, as long as they're taking the opportunity to distill the problem and make it more and more focused on accuracy and precision. Doing this prevents them from taking their own feelings of investment and accomplishment in their work, or rather puts that feeling of accomplishment in their work and is able to help them create a model that makes sense to them. And also, when they're modeling, they're making genuine choices about the decisions they're making to choose a certain pathway to find an answer. And the modeling pathway also allows them to start in a place. Oftentimes, students don't have access points, whether they're gifted or otherwise, or they don't see an access point in the content. So as long as it is something that's contextually authentic to them, is a huge opportunity for them to be able to jump right in at some point, start with something that they know or something they can research about the topic that they understand, and have some type of access point into the math. And then finally, the assessment for this is, well, assessment in, or understanding the idea of assessment for gifted students especially, is that they're going to be expected to explain their process and to make sense of their process, not just the product they got. Oftentimes, authentic assessments can be ones where they won't have the opportunity to have the same answer as everybody else, and that's okay, as long as they accept the fact that they can see the similarities in their processes, or they can appreciate the different strategies in their processes to be able to get to the points that support what they're trying to accomplish for their goals. So it's very much a growing the idea behind working together collaboratively, using what they know about math or what they know about an experience, a real life experience, and also relating it to what data they can get statistically and reason their way into a process and a pathway that helps them understand the world. So a lot of teachers would say, in my opinion, that students who enter their class are not prepared the way they need to be in order to excel in their class. Given the discussion of mathematical modeling and the skills needed, which are all content-based, I feel as if the students that enter algebra are very much prepared with the skills they need to question, with the skills they need to experiment and to work through the process, because according to Georgia Department of Education, they would have already been offered a differentiated curriculum in their middle schools, and knowing this from a district perspective and providing assistance on curriculum, I've seen that teachers are able to integrate a lot of different skills and methods to help students with their struggle. They incorporate different processes and encourage students to be able to question how and where they apply their ideas. They offer different products that students can collaborate in and create for themselves, and a host of assessment opportunities that range not just from typical tests, but also performance assessments. So I do feel like the raw skills and abilities and experiences are there, whether they're at the level of a perfect acceleration in algebra at that point. Perhaps not, but that's why they have the time to do that, in my opinion. And according to the information from the Davidson Institute, gifted education students in Georgia are ones that demonstrate a high degree of intellectual or creative abilities, exhibit an exceptional high degree of motivation, either in general academic fields or in a specific content area. And so being such a broad explanation to me means that students are armed with a great deal of skills. Sometimes it takes a bit of time and effort to elicit those skills and abilities from them, and the teachers that we help support try to do that to the best of their ability.